Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Across the Hobby for the week of April the 14th, where together we look at the biggest sales of the week gone and the biggest auctions ending this week. I'm Adam Gray. Follow me at the Real 27 Guy on IG. Today's show is going to be awesome. We're going to look at my favorite 5 auctions ending this week. We don't know what they are yet. We're going to find them over the course of the next hour, and I'll highlight them again at the end of the show. I missed you guys last week. We had kind of a crazy week for my family. We were supposed to be in England. It was supposed to be the biggest trip we ever have been on. But because of a problem with a passport coming literally 24 hours late, it was going to shift all of our plans. And so we decided to move the trip altogether and instead sort of pivoted to California and to Disneyland and to the San Diego Zoo, which we'd never done with our kids. And we just had a great time. It was just an awesome 5 days. But we drove out on Monday morning and we drove back on Saturday. I live in Salt Lake, so this was a crazy week for us. So in the period of 5 days, in 6 days, we drove from Salt Lake to California, Southern California, just like a 10-hour drive. We went to the beach twice. In like full beach days, whole family. We had the whole day in Disneyland and a whole day in the San Diego Zoo, and then drove back. So for the last week, it has been absolutely insane. I miss doing this show. I love doing this show. It's become a normal part of my week, and it was fun for me to get so many messages from people saying, "Hey, like, what the heck? Where's the show at? Are you going to do the show?" And I told everybody on my Instagram, "Sorry guys, I'm not going to make it this week." But I do just want to say about the passport problems. This was one of the most like frustrating experiences like of my entire life. For literally like, I don't know, 2 months, I did everything I could to get this passport. They said that there was something wrong on our original application, which is frustrating because literally you're doing the application in front of somebody there. They're checking the numbers on it against the social security card that you also have to bring. And then in the end, they said that something was wrong with that. But we did it in plenty of time. We did it with over an extra month. They just repeatedly told us, "Hey, we're going to send it. Here's when we're sending it. Oh, there was this problem. Sorry, we messed up. Sorry, we forgot to do this with the postage. Sorry. And then in the end, they said, "We'll overnight it. We promise." And they didn't. They didn't overnight it until the very next day. And unfortunately, sometimes when you overnight things with FedEx ends up, or with UPS ends up being late. But it was an absolute disaster for us. It was just terrible. So thank you guys for allowing me to vent for a second. It was terrible, but the trip that we ended up going on was awesome, and happy to be back, and happy now to take about 10 minutes on last week's activity. I didn't get to watch a lot of it last week, so I'm just going to hit a few things for Fanatics Collect, maybe even less than 10 minutes, maybe 5, and then we'll spend the rest of the time looking at this week, and then maybe in a little bit of time looking at next week. And as always, the goal is to do it within an hour. And as always, I'm not making any promises because we all know that I am absolutely terrible at that. All right, without further ado, let's share the screen and get going on this. So the first thing I want to show you guys is this is something that I started to do 9 weeks ago now. I basically take the 4 biggest items that are currently at auction. There's sports cards, either early Sunday or usually late Saturday. And I say, okay, what do you think will be the highest selling card in this auction? And I just do a very simple poll on my Instagram. The reason that I do 4 cards is because Instagram only allows you to pick up to 4 cards. And sometimes there might be a card that ends up being a bigger sale than all 4 cards, but I can only go with what is the highest dollar stuff that's currently at auction at that time. So when I did this, it was early Sunday or maybe late Saturday, and these were the 4 cards. You can see the prices that they ended up selling for, but ignore the prices for a second, and instead just look at. I'm going to switch something on my screen here. Mess something up. Instead, just look at look at the numbers around like what the voting was. So almost 600 votes as of the time that I printed these numbers. So the LeBron Black got 252 votes, 44% total. and it ended up being second in terms of how expensive it was. This is one that I got right. I haven't gotten them all right, but this is one I got right. I voted for the Tatum, and you can see about 10%, a little bit less than 10% of the people who voted for the Tatum. Well, the Tatum ended up winning. Tatum's game used, it's really low numbered. I think this was the gold. You can see right here, the gold numbered out of 10. This is one of his rarest game used RPAs. And so it outsold these other ones. And the Aaron is a great card. The Aaron's an 8.5. And then the BGS 9 Jordan, BGS 9 Jordans are $14,400 at this point. Nice, strong number. I don't know what they normally sell for, but I sold 3 of these back during the pandemic. And I don't think any of them sold for this price. One of them actually sold for way more than this because it had incredible subs, had 10 on centering. But these are like that. Those are pretty good, strong numbers. The thing that we continue to see is people see like recognizable cards and they vote for them, but very often it's cards that are not as recognizable that are significantly rarer that are selling for more money. I personally like seeing that because I like rare cards. I like seeking after things that are harder to find. But those are 4 sales yesterday at Fanatics Collect. And you can see that now at this point, we have gotten 2 right and 7 wrong in the last 9 weeks. At this point, we are virtually the same odds as guessing as a whole of the community. I have had a number of people message me though and say I'm 7-2 in the same period, or you know I'm a lot better than the whole community is. It's just fun to see. So those are our first 4 sales of the week that we want to look at. Now let's look at all the other items that that sold at Fanatics Collect. So you already saw this Tatum here, so I'm not going to pull that back up. We'll just scroll down here. So you've got a couple cards that made it into the top 4 that weren't in the top 4 when I put together that initial poll. The Ronaldo Black 1/1 9.5. Not shocking to see this one get to where it is. The high-end soccer community continues to grow and sees big sales all the time. Obviously, Ronaldo has a lot of cards, a lot bigger than this one. But the 2018 Prism World Cup Scorers Club Black sold for 19.2 and a BGS 9.5. We already mentioned this LeBron, and then another strong sale for an early Panini era Kobe autograph patch. First year immaculate, numbered to 75. Nice strong 9 grade. Nice strong patch, 18 grand. I like seeing this because it seems to me that some of the better known Panini stuff is sort of it's I don't want to say catching up to the best Upper Deck era stuff, because it's certainly not. If this card said Upper Deck on it, it would be selling for a lot more. But as where this sort of felt like a set that was like a limited logo set when it came out, 18,000 to me makes sense when you compare it to the bigger numbers of the Upper Deck era stuff. I think it's a beautiful card. It jumped a lot in the last 24 hours, and I think that's worth noting. Joe Burrow, 1 color patch, 18 grand out of 99. What is this? Jackie Robinson signed Best Wishes art view. I don't know what this is, but it's a Jackie autograph, which is always a big deal. Sold for 17. A LeBron, this has to have a high grade. Yeah, 10-10. That's why that sold for as much as it did. Pop 1, 16.2. Really nice Tiger here from 2002. Sold for 14.4. There's that MJ I talked about. Boy, the timing on this McElroy, huh? Wow, the timing on this McElroy. Jordan McElroy dual autograph from 2014, exquisite. In the dual endorsements out of 5, MJ and his golf attire. Some vintage baseball, big numbers there. It was really interesting to see what this Jordan would sell for. It sold for 12.6. I think this Tiger undersold. I love this card. I highlighted this one on my Instagram in one of my top 10 posts. It was on my top 10 post for Fanatics Collect last week, and I think this is I think from what I understand about cards and what I understand about golf cards, to me this is a much more critical card and cooler card than what the price would indicate. $12,600 is not a small amount of money by anybody's. Nobody's going to say $12,600 is not a ton of money. What I will point out is that when you have a card that is from a player's same as the rookie year, and I'm gonna switch the sides here. The set is one of the most important golf releases of all time. It's an impossible pull. It's an iconic card. It was an incredibly difficult card to get in a high grade. And now here we are 24 years later, and only 9 PSA 10s have ever been graded. And it's $12,600. Like, I would much rather have this than the average gold out of 100. Me personally, I would. Like, there's not very many of them in high grade. They're really tough, and it was an impossible pull. I love it when a card is like a 1 in a really big number pull out of a low dollar pack. And you can still buy packs of this Upper Deck stuff relatively cheaply because they just made so much of it. So I love that card, and I think whoever got it got a great deal. I don't know what the pop is on the Jordan, but that's really what the story is there. And then this Ray Allen. I really was interested to see what this Ray Allen would do. Sold for $11,100. Highlighted this on my Instagram next to a Monte Ellis that's way down. And I said, which of these two cards would you rather have? The Monte is from the 1952 Topps style set. Is a superfractor, and it's definitely one of his few best cards in existence. And I asked the question, which of these two cards would you rather have? The Ray Allen from a 90 set, true 1 of 1, or this Monte Ellis, obviously a significantly lesser player from, from a 1 of 1 set. In fact, I'm just gonna, I'll show you the Monte real quick, and I'll just do it by showing you on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, this is the post right here. These are the two cards. I personally, and this is a weird comparison to make, but they're both rare 1 of 1s, rare sets to hit auction. I personally like the Monte Ellis here more. And the reason, and even though it sold for like 40%, I think it sold for like just under $5,000 or just over $4,000, somewhere in the 4,000s. I like the Monte Ellis more because I just love that card. And I love that it's like really, truly one of his 3 or 4 best cards in existence. You would take his Ultimate Logoman Auto from his rookie year ahead of this, and you might take his like jersey numbered RPAs out of Exquisite ahead of this, and you might take his Chrome Super ahead of this. I'm not sure I would even take his Chrome Super ahead of this though. Like, that card is just phenomenal in a PSA 10 too. Like, it's just an awesome card. This is a good question for you. What would you rather have? This is a really good question, actually, but only for the really nerdy basketball card fans, like the nerdy ultra high end fans. Would you rather have Monte's 2005 Chrome Superfractor, Topps Chrome, or the 2005 52 style? I would take the 52 style, and I'll tell you why. It's going to be surprising. Usually I would just say take the Chrome. The Chrome's the best one. The Chrome's the best one. I've seen 2005 Chrome Supers in hand, and they're probably the worst looking Supers of them all. And I'm not trying to bag on the set. If you have the card, I'm not trying to bag on it. Okay, I'm not saying anything negative about it from the perspective of like, it's not a great card. It's still a great card. But the card barely looks like a Superfractor. It's not as gold, right? This is an infinitely better looking card. And so I think you can make the case this is a top 2 Monte Ellis card in existence. Whereas for the Ray Allen, it's not that high. I mean, he has his PMG greens and his 1 of 1s that are earlier and exquisite stuff that came later. And like all these cards that you would probably take over this card. The Ray Allen is maybe a top 50 Ray Allen card in existence, which is nothing to scoff at. The Monte is like a top 2 or 3 Monte card. And Monte had a good career. He's a really good player. I lean towards the Monte Ellis, but Ray Allen is a top 75 guy. It is a 90s 1 of 1. I get why it went down the way that it did. It's a great card. Congrats to the buyer. Congrats to the seller. I like the Monte more. All right. And let's call it there. There's so many cards that we could talk about for the week, but lots of good stuff. Okay, now let's jump into the cards that are ending this week. And as we often do, we're going to start with MC Sports cards. And I'm going to start right here with this pair of Connor McDavids, 2 unreal McDavids, both gorgeous. With this one from 2019. Ooh, look at that inscription. I love gold on black. And I haven't seen too many SP Authentic gold on blacks through the years, but the gold autograph with the inscription on the black background is really pretty. Shohei PSA 10 out of 250. This is from the Chrome update set. Shohei stuff is really, I mean, it's been incredibly popular for years now. You guys probably already know that. Ichiro pop on this is going to be incredibly important. I would suggest anybody who's a big Ichiro fan, especially an Ichiro fan of really recognizable cards. This is his SP Authentic rookie card from 2001. PSA 10. It's out of 1250. But how many of them are PSA 10? That's what's worth looking at. Brady, numbered out of 12 from 2004 autograph. Love some of these playoff Donruss autographs. They're signed on stickers, but was done in a time where sticker autographs weren't as frowned on. It sort of felt like it was part of the card at this point. One of the earlier sticker autographs, too. Cards numbered out of 12. So, you know, like how often do you see Brady autographs from this era that are numbered so low? Let's take a quick look at this one. I always forget how to do that exactly. Okay, good. So 1 out of 12, recently graded. Some people are going to look at this and they're going to see the 5 and they're going to say, "Oh man, that's a 5." I just don't even care. So let's put this into context, okay? Let's put this into context. So 2004 playoff. Brady's been in the league for 4 years at that point, right? He has a couple of Super Bowls, I think, at this point. I don't know the years as well as some people do, but he certainly has, I think, 1 or 2. And he doesn't have a ton of autographs. Then this set comes out. And at the time, Playoff Prime is one of the more expensive products that comes out. This one's numbered to his jersey number and is not really thought of as like a set that people like can name off the top of their head. It's not like an exquisite limited logos, right? It's not, you know, some set that people just find beloved. And so all of these years later, like literally in the last 6 months, this card is being graded. It's probably just been sitting in some binder or in somebody's collection in a top loader or something like that. And it's finally being graded and it grades out as a 5. It's number 1 of 12. Is this the first jersey numbered Tom Brady autograph? I don't know of one that comes before this. And I can do some research afterwards and find out whether it is or it isn't. But it's certainly one of the very first jersey numbered Brady autographs. It's number 1 of 12. And I love how the autograph sort of lights up. Now, some people are going to look at it and they're going to say, but that autograph's on a sticker, Adam, and sticker autos suck. Okay, I get it. You'd rather have it be on card. But as far as sticker autographs go, it's awesome because look at how it really highlights the autograph. This is when, you know, I'm not trying to build up sticker autographs here, but this is when sticker autographs were better. I think Playoff nailed this one. And I love that card. This will definitely be on my top 10 of the week for MC. I absolutely love this card. All right. I'm going to put this over here as maybe a top 5 card this week. And we're going to go back to the rest of the cards MC has up. Huge Mailman card that I also have. Mine is a CGC 8.5. This one's a PSA 6. It's probably about equal, honestly. $2,000. Maybe mine's a little bit better. I looked at this one closer. I think mine's maybe mine grabs a 7. But yeah, huge card for Karl Malone. And honestly, from an aesthetics perspective, it's one of the best looking cards that I've ever seen. Some people, my friend David Ratliff, signed in slab, calls this the Pepto-Bismol looking card. This is one of the things I love disagreeing with him on. It's one of the most beautiful sets ever made. I love 97 EC Futures, the Essential Credentials Futures. The pink and the purple's just beautiful, but especially with those jazz colors and Mailman running toward the hoop. Like it's just a beautiful card. Everybody knows this card, PSA 6. Great copy for somebody who's looking for one that's lower grade. Honestly, this is a great copy for me. I'd love to pick this one up at some point. It's got the it's got the writing. Unfortunately, it goes right across Kobe right here, but it still has the peel, and I love that it has the peel. Oscar 8 in the inaction. T-Mac, what's this one graded? A 9 on the Legacy. Early Jordan jersey card and a PSN. I've seen a lot of these earlier jersey cards become harder and harder to find as people look at them as more of key type cards. Red Sparkle, Wemby, the rare triple. This is the trio. Oh, it's a PSA 10. That's why it's in the auction. It's not one of the rarer parallels. It's just that it's a PSA 10. White Sparkle Love. Early Brady. This is from 2012, the very first year of Prism. It's the die cut red. Steph Downtown, always a big card to see. A hit auction, PSA 10. Mbappe 1 of 1. This is from the National VIP Gems. I always love another big McDavid. This is a PSA 8 from the Cup. This is the rookie tribute autograph patch. Really a great looking card. Always love this Giannis. Thing that I will always tell you about this Giannis card. It's his only on-card long autograph like that. That's like on like a significant set. Where you've got like a piece of the jersey and stuff. His NT RPA is just can't hold a candle to it in terms of the autograph quality. The autograph's probably maybe 3 times as long in terms of strokes of the hand. And to me, I love that. It may not have the brand name that NT does, but I would take it over the NT. Kobe autographs are definitely doing big things right now. Numbered out of 20. This one's at 25.50. So this Irving's worth noticing. This Julius Irving is one of the most interesting cards that I think a lot of people have never really taken notice of, but maybe they should. Let's do this. So in 2004, Exquisite gave us what I would argue is the best autograph patch set ever that's numbered out of 100. And the whole set is serial numbered out of 100. They all look like this, except for Bill Russell is numbered out of, I think, 75, and Julius Irving is numbered out of 50, which tells us probably that they only had so many Julius pieces of patch that they could include in the cards. But it's a big set. Like I think it's like a 50 card set. And it's just these 2 guys that are short printed cards. This is the definition of short printed. There are half as many Irvings as there are Kobe. There are half as many Irvings as there are LeBron and Jordan. Irving's the toughest card in the set. And fortunately, most of the patches are stellar. It's a great looking card. It's a $910. I used to have a copy. This might even be my old copy. It is beautiful. The holofoil within here, around the patch window and throughout. I think they called this Duflex, this sort of etched stuff that's on the background. The holofoil serial number is just a glorious card. It's an absolutely beautiful card. That also might be a top 5 card of the week for me. I'll put it over there. McGregor, I gotta pick up the pace here. Big McGregor, an Ovechkin out of 50. Another Ovechkin. Obviously, Ovechkin stuff right now is really hot. Ohtani out of 5. Bryce Harper out of 100. Mike Trout, Aaron Judge. Really a pretty Hank Aaron, Topps Heritage Real One autograph. A Russell 5.5, his second card out of Beckett. Looks like a really nice example. Tim Duncan autograph. LaMelo Silhouettes. Is that his rookie? That's a pretty big card, actually. Yeah, this is the LaMelo Silhouettes. This is the prime parallel, right? Which is also called a patch, which they've called here a patch. I usually call it a patch, but I think Panini calls prime. Really big Kobe here. Kobe plus RJ Barrett. This is the year that for Zion, Ja, and RJ, they did dual autographs. Kobe and that player. I don't know how many of them they made. It's not a huge number. Definitely check gem rate for the combined pop report and see how many total have been graded, but it's not a huge number. They don't pop up often. Can you imagine how cool of a card this is for RJ Barrett? Like, he got to sign 1 card ever with Kobe before Kobe was gone. It exists. He got to sign one. And there's, probably 25 of them in the world. That's just a guess. It might be 40 or 50 or something. It's not a big number, though. It's just such a cool card. All right, really cool Kobe jersey autograph. This is from that Kobe anthology set where you get like a pack with 3 Kobe cards. I got to open a few of these, and they never had anything but base Kobe cards in it. But this one right here, like, you pull that and know, like, you just got one of the coolest cards in the whole product. Another early Jordan jersey. I'll bet this is from the same seller as that other one that we were looking at. You just don't see a lot of these. Refractor from the early 97 Bowman's Best. This is the mirror image set. There are 2 other players on the other side of this. It's who is that? Is that Mercer and MJ on the front? Oh, it's BGS 10. That's really the story here. Is it's BGS 10. Another BGS 10. This time Kobe. Really an interesting one. I'd look at the pop report on that one for sure. Duncan Legacy. Ooh, Ray Allen's Superfractor. That's a big card. This is the white Superfractor. It doesn't say white Superfractor on the slab. It also doesn't say it in the title, but that is what it is. This is the white Superfractor. In 2005, they made 5 or 6 supers. This is when they were still trying to figure out how they were going to utilize the Superfractor. And for Finest in 2014, they made a couple. They made 2 different versions. Sorry, 2004. I think it's in 2014. In 2004, they made the very first Finest supers. So here's a little bit of a lesson. 2004, Topps Chrome, they made the very first Superfractors ever for basketball, ever. That's why I love the Yao Ming that I have so much. I love that it is his first Superfractor, period. Later that year, in 2004, they made a set, Finest, that has 2 Superfractors in it. One's gold and one's blue, and that's what they're called, the gold and the blue. So then in 2005, they're still trying to figure things out, and they make Chrome makes 1 super, which I talked about earlier. It's kind of white, doesn't look great, but it is what it is. And then they had a couple of other sets, including Finest. They had supers in it, but for Finest, they tried this sort of crazy different thing where they did like a green super, a gold, a white, a blue, a regular. I think that's it. I think that's all of them. I think there's 5, and then there's an insert that some players have. So for Ray Allen, this is one of his first 5, 6, like one of his first 7 or 8 superfractors ever made. And if you were to look at Beckett's website, you could determine how many total supers Ray has. Spoiler, it's probably between 30 and 40 total ever made. This is one of them. And it's very, very cool. I look at that and I go, okay, so Ray Allen has 90 PMG reds. He's got, he's got however many credentials, however many rubies, however many, all these things. He has like 40 total supers ever. And so if you like Ray Allen, like it's awesome. What would you rather have though? That or this iconic PSA 10 gold refractor numbered out of 50 PSA 10? Interesting question. Mailman 2 out of 10. Actually, let's hit this. Cream 1 of 1 out of the Mosaic set. Mailman out of 10. Autograph patch out of Flawless. Looks awesome. Gretzky, some more big hockey stuff. I'm taking too long, guys. I got to speed this up. PSA 10, Griffey. PSA 8, the Cup, Sidney Crosby, Barry Sanders. All right, we got to look at this. Figure out what's going on there. I'll look at that one in just a second and try to understand what's going on there. I love this LeBron gold right here. So LeBron, here's a list of LeBron's gold rookies, and I might miss something, but he has obviously like the 2 Topps Finest. One's from his XRC that's from 2002, that's numbered out of 25. He's got the other one from out of 25 from 2003. He's got his Chrome, which is more popular, more of a popular image. It's out of 50, but people think of it as a better card than either of his Finest. I'm personally partial to his Finest, but whatever. He's got his Bowman Chrome, which is out of 50. And then I feel like I'm missing one. What am I missing? There's another big one, maybe. Or maybe there's not. And I've listed them all. And then he has 3 gold refractors out of Topps Pristine. They're all numbered out of 99. This is one of them. They're referred to as like common, uncommon, and rare. I'm not sure it really matters because they're all numbered out of 99 in this parallel. They've got like this die cut edge that you can see. But I like it because if you wanted a LeBron gold refractor rookie, like there it is. For the money, there it is. Big MJ insert right here, PSA 7. Sam Jones, PSA 8. That's cool. PSA 8 on the 61 Flair. That's his rookie. Luka on-card autograph out of Contenders, PSA 9. Kobe's second jersey card or second year of jersey cards, and I think better looking than either of his from 1998. I love this year. Classic late 90s upper deck game used. Love it. Check the pop on this. I love it for a differentiating type Kobe card for your collection. It's really a cool card. Gosh, I'm only at the end of the first page. Cool Caitlin Clark. I got to go faster. Another Giannis longer autograph. Notice that one's on sticker. PSA 10 Durant Chrome Refractor. Halliburton rookie PSA 10 out of 5. Select, not necessarily a parallel that you think of a lot, but it is a Halliburton out of 5 rookie card in a PSA 10 holder. That's tough to find. LeBron Color Blast, $3,100 to raw. Joe Burrow, that's the gold vinyl, numbered out of 5. Another big Burrow. Big Walter Payton right here. Actually, I just skipped to 1/1. Jamar Chase. Ticket stub rookie auto 1/1. This is cool. Ty Cobb, SGC 2.5, Willard's Chocolates. I love stuff like this. This will be another one of my top 10s from the auction. I love vintage stuff like this that's just impossible to find. 1924. Wasn't Cobb done by then? Isn't that like after his career? I would check that, see where he's at in his career. If he was still active, that may or may not matter to you. You may or may not care. Getting close to the end here. Got a few more. Big Shaq here. I had the Kobe of this for a while. I think this is just a dramatically undervalued set, and I think it's because it's the year after the 90s. So Upper Deck Ultimate Victory was a set that had some jersey cards, is inserts, but for the most part, the best cards that came out in retrospect, in my opinion, are the rarest parallels. They made it the year before too. And I always get confused when I first look at it, whether I'm looking at a card from 99 or 2000. This is the 2000. So this is the later year, but it's a great looking card in person. It's similar. The design on it's very similar to one of the 98 Rubies designs. It's hard to describe it. There's definitely movement in the background. Upper Deck parallels have just never had the same cachet. But look, it's a Shaq, it's a gold, it's out of 25. It does have a lot of movement. It's impossible to find. If you look at the pop report, you're going to see there's like 2 or 3 of them ever graded across all the grading companies. I guarantee you. Go look. It's going to be 3, 4, some super small number. They're impossible to find. And I sold my Kobe for like $2,000, and I shouldn't have sold it. I had to sell it to get my Kobe Logo Mania. It was one of the casualties of me, selling a whole bunch of stuff to buy a big card, but I always wish I could have hung on to it because it's just a great set. Big MJ. This is the rave review, 8.5, one of his top 10, maybe 15 inserts of all time. Love this Origins Caitlin Clark, beautiful card. Love this Brunson right here, where he gives a little bit of an inscription. Take a close look at that, see what that is. I've got a fly here. I'm definitely going too slow. Big MJ, the 96-97 silver autograph and a 9.5. Brandon Miller, 1/1 out of Prism. What is this? This is his second year. I was thinking it was his rookie. I was like, this is a huge card. Still a big card. Second year card. His rookie's 2023. This is his second year. Zach LaVine's such an interesting story. All of his big money stuff was bought up his rookie year. Like all of it. All of his big stuff. And over the last maybe 3 or 4 years, a lot of it started to come back out. The sense that I got is there were a couple of big guys somewhere in Asia that bought all of it. I had a couple of his biggest cards early on and got just absolutely crazy offers for him and had to let him go. But Zach LaVine was beloved there. And so whenever I see a big card like that pop up, I sort of take notice. Red Joe Smith, Tim Duncan. I've always loved this card. Oh, I love this in a PSA 5 too. Oh, I love this. So let me talk about that one for just a second too, and then we'll look at the Barry Sanders too, and hopefully we can finish here quick. PSA 7 on the West. Ooh, big PSA 10 on the Kobe here. This is the TakeIt2.net. Gold Kobe refractor, $5,400. PSA 10 on the 89 Fleer pack. That maybe shouldn't have been in the premiere in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it has a Jordan sticker on the top. That's what's cool about that one. Kobe from the Kobe Eminence set. This is the numbered out of 3 dual diamond that highlights the number of points he scored in his career. Kobe quad patch auto, another big Kobe autograph out of Flawless. Kobe Duncan Go Nuts. Skeens, excuse me. Ooh, a big Moreno, the PSA 10 rookie card. Oh, Kobe PSA 10 chrome. Check the color on that. Let's take a look. Actually. Big Kobe autograph from Impeccable, one of his final autographs he ever signed, and the biggest item of the day by a long shot, an original Team Rocket booster box. Big box. Okay, let's look at each of these 3 cards that we've highlighted. Oh man, I've taken too long. That's okay. So what this is saying here, this is a Sidney Crosby tribute card. And so this is what Crosby's rookie looked like, but it's not Crosby. In this case, it's still the Cup. It's still 2009. I shouldn't say still 2009. It is 2009, but it looks like the 2005, I think, the cup. Or is it 2004? It's 2005. And it's Barry, but Barry just with his autograph. It's kind of cool. And then 2 more cards to look at. I've always loved this Tim Duncan. I've always loved it. I love the non-legacy version too, though. I love it because there's an argument about Showcase. What is a base card and what is a parallel? And I'll tell you what I mean. In Flair Showcase, back in 97 and 96 and 98, you had these like different rows. And they were just different rows. 96, there's row 0, row 1, and row 2. And row 0 was the toughest. And across the whole of the row 0 set, there were cards that were far more common than others. The early part of the set was a lot tougher. So then you move to 97, and they make it 4 rows. And they made row 0 serial numbered. And they also sort of had a spectrum of like rarer and less rare cards in row 0 in 97. So Tim Duncan's in the row where I think the cards are numbered out of, I should know this. I think it's out of 250. I think Tim Duncan's out of 250. He might be out of 500. I should know that. But the question is that a base card? Because there's different rows. They don't have the same images of the player on the front. Is the base set all of the rows together, or is it just one of the rows? And if it is just one of the rows, which row is it? We know that the legacy is a parallel. There's just no question about that. It is a parallel. It parallels the whole, parallels everything. But either this is a parallel of a parallel, or this is a parallel of the rarest base Tim Duncan rookie. And I've always thought that makes a lot of difference. What's harmed the set through the years is I think that level of sort of confusion. People don't like that. It's kind of like triumvirate illuminators. People want to know what they have. Even if it's crazy rare, they just want to know what they have. They don't want there to be any confusion. And confusion has harmed the value of things through the years. Bottom line, the base version of this card is his rarest true rookie if it is not a parallel. And some people think of it as a parallel and some people don't. And, which type of person are you? I love it. I love the card and love it. And I love it in this legacy version. And then finally on this Kobe, let's look at the green. So I always talk to you guys about, I am colorblind. I struggle with it, but you can see lots of greening on this one. Not nearly as much as on other ones though. There's green, but it doesn't seem to me to be nearly as green as most other Kobe's. I don't think it's like way above average or anything. If it had an eye appeal sticker, could it be a top 30%? Probably not. It's probably like a 40th percent or 45th percent. But some of these are really green. The point, though, is it's a PSA 10. And people do love that it's a PSA 10, even though it's green. My question for you would be, in the long term, like this is not going to stay like it is forever. At some point, the grading companies and the auction houses and everybody's going to come together. Somebody enterprising, please, is going to just figure this out. And I'm happy to help on this. Message me and say, Adam, what do you think we should do? I will tell you. I'm just going to tell you right now. There ought to be a sticker attached or some other way of grading the color as of a specific moment in time. And that's something, unfortunately, that's going to need to be sort of re-upped every couple of years as the cards continue to change colors. I have one of these that is not green at all. It's a refractor, and it's just not green at all. And I happen to think that matters way, 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 way more than the grade. But not everybody feels that way. For a lot of people, what the card is graded is the thing that matters most. I don't think in the long term that will be the case. I think in the long term, in fact, I'll bet you if I was to do a poll right now, and I haven't done it, but I probably should. If I was to do a poll and I was to say, you get a chance, you get to hold the card for 5 years. Would you rather have a card of this Kobe that's super high grade or a card that's not super high grade but has perfect color? I think people are going to take the option of the perfect color. I do. Okay, I took too long. That's it for MC Sports Cards today. We will get out of these. Those are my 2 favorites. We're going to come back to those. We're going to see which are the 5 favorite cards of the week. I've held over 2 for right now. And now we're going to move to Alt. Alt has some big stuff in this week. Maybe not as big as next week, but they've got some big stuff in this week. Next week's such a huge week, guys. Next week's auction block is just insane. Okay, let's see what we've got this week. We have a couple of non-sports. Then we have the Luka Mojo. Mojo is always at a 25. And this one is a PSA 10. This is a big, big, big Luka card. Other than the gold, like what card is bigger, is less big than the gold or the black gold? But it's closer to that than this card. Is there a card that's bigger than this one that's close to that range? I don't think there is. Maybe the white sparkle. This isn't like the white sparkle are probably in that same sort of range. The Luka 2018 Prism is, by any sort of calculation, one of the most iconic basketball cards of this century. It is. Soto, only 2 copies graded higher. This is a gold out of 50. Big card. Kaboom Gold, Jaden Daniels. I always say Jaden McDaniels. I can't not do that. I'm a basketball guy. Numbered out of 10, obviously, BGS 95. Ooh, a quad here that I want to take a close look at. We'll highlight that and come back to it here in a little bit. But first, Gunnar Henderson. This is the orange out of 25, BGS 95. Michael Penix Jr. Oh, this is his true gold, and it is his jersey number match. I always say this. I'm always really honest about this, and full disclosure, I am not a football guy as far as prospecting goes. I can't sit here and tell you guys this is the dude to go after. What I can tell you is this about this card. Hold on a sec. What I can tell you about this card is this. If you believe in this dude, this card is amazing. If you believe in Michael Penix Jr., then this card is incredible. It's his gold Prism rookie, like the true gold Prism rookie. And it's serial numbered to his jersey number. He's number 9. You can see on the back here, it's number 9 out of 10. It's a huge card. Absolutely huge. I may put this one in my top 5 this week, not even being a football guy, just because he's a QB that I know a lot of people are excited about. And literally it's one of his best cards in existence. And I just clicked off of it. Big share right here. Numbered out of 99, the blue ice in a PSA 10. Huge card. Big Barry, the Tiffany, PSA 10. Always big whenever that one hits. The Luka, is that Luka? No, I'm sorry. The Jokic Kaboom Gold. Man, Jokic. My timing on this Gala card that I bought, that I still have sitting on my desk here. My timing on this Gala card, not ideal. His coach is immediately fired, right? And you sort of wonder if a coach is immediately fired right before the playoffs, isn't that sort of an admonition that you're gonna suck in the playoffs? Isn't that sort of we're gonna be awful? Just huge. I can't understand why you would ever fire a coach right before the playoffs. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just don't understand something. This is the year 2023 where most of these Kaboom Gold cards are, and I think regular Kabooms have condition issues because of centering. I just don't care about it. I just don't even care about the grade at all. Some people really have a problem with it. I just don't care at all. I think that's a huge card and certainly one of my favorite cards of the auction. A Luka Star Swatch signature gold, really nice patch, strong 2-color, but with lots of layers in here, numbered out of 10. We are going to, like I said, we're going to come back to the card that we saved, the multi-autograph here in a second. Osser, Amen's hotter, but Osser's still a big deal. The gold Prism out of his rookie year, one of his best rookie cards in existence. MJ and Worm dual autograph. Nowitzki BGS 10, rare parallel from his rookie season. As usual, lots and lots of good stuff here on Alt this week. Joe Milton Gold Prism rookie. Jackie signed quotation cuts. What is quotation cuts? We're going to look at that one real quick and see if we can find out anything that's interesting. Shohei Dynasty out of 50, big card. Ant NTRPA. This is the horizontal version out of 49. Lots of good stuff this week. Oh, check out this Kobe 2015 jumbo patch number to 12. They made the red for him out of 12, not for everybody, but for him, they did out of 12 for some reason. Maybe they were low on jerseys or something like that. Like I said, as always, lots of good stuff up at all. Let me just go just a couple more. Luca, this is from 2020 Flaw, so it's not an RPA, but still a big card. Number out of 15, it says, is it red? It doesn't look red. It's weird that one's out of 15. Usually red is out of 15. I want to take a closer look at that one. I love this Cobb. A Fleer cuts. Not a lot of Fleer greats cuts. So that card's really cool. A couple of really nice cuts cards up this week. Great looking KD with the Nike swoosh, number 3 out of 3. Great looking Caitlin Clark, numbered out of 25. Just a great auction as usual. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at these big cards that we didn't take a look at. Okay, so what's the significance here? Interesting quad, interesting quartet of players. Kobe, Magic, LeBron, Larry. What's the common theme here? Doesn't seem like there really is one. I mean, 4 of the best at this point, probably 4 of the best 10 players on most people's lists of all time. They're 4 of, I'd say Larry to me is like right on the edge of 10 at this point. You could put him 10 or 11. I know that's heresy in a lot of people's perspectives, especially because of how good his peak was, but he only won 3 championships. And I do think that hurts him. People are like, oh, you can't put Steph above Bird. I've got Steph above Bird. But when this card was made, obviously, when this card was made, LeBron was in his 2nd year in the league. He was signing this probably during his 2nd year in the league. I love that it's an early LeBron autograph. This is a card that to me looks like it probably should have had the autographs graded. The autographs are really nice on here. Nothing looks out of place. Everything looks like it's supposed to. All 4 of these guys nailed this. 4 of the top 10 players of all time. 2 Lakers, and then you assume it'll be 2 Celtics. Nope, 2 Lakers, LeBron and Larry. LeBron and Larry probably considered by most the 2 best small forwards of all time. And Magic and Kobe could be the 2 best Lakers of all time. So it's easy to talk yourself into a card like this. But for me, the highlight is this. That's not a sticker autograph. Those 4 are on card. This set photographs so poorly. All did a great job photographing this. They did an absolutely phenomenal job. Most of the time when these pop up, I'm like going to PSA to try to find the image. And sometimes the PSA image sucks. It's just a hard surface to photograph. It's like a gold foil that a blue autograph is over. And in person, it looks great. It looks fine. But in photographs, the autograph can get lost. This image, it's perfect. What is that? About 100,000 points on that card? It's 5, 10, 14, 17, 17 championships and like 10 MVPs. That's an estimate on the MVPs. I might be a little bit, I don't know. I don't know all the guys' numbers, but it's just a great piece. I like it a lot. Top 5. No, I think I'm likely to put the Penix in my top 5 this week, though. So I'm gonna move it over there. We'll come back to that. I love the Jokic. Jokic is, probably like not exactly the best looking, best photographed guy. Like he's got these big arms. He's always sort of just like dribbling, maneuvering. He doesn't do anything that's like a sexy thing. He doesn't photograph like Kobe, right? But man, he's the best. He's the best player of this era. And I would say the post-Steph LeBron era, but I keep saying post-Steph LeBron era. And those 2 guys are maybe still the 2 most relevant guys in the league. But Jokic is just incredible. And the gold Kaboom set, I don't know how many gold Kabooms Jokic has. Is this his only one? Does he have like 2 or 3? I don't know. It's not a big number. Again, he's not as collected. He doesn't photograph as well. But I think as his career winds down in like 15 years from now or 12 years from now or something crazy like that. I know it's not really 15. He came into the league 9 years ago. But he just seems like he's going to play a long time. As his career winds down, I think people will look back and go, oh, man, that guy's one of the best ever. There's a chance he could be top 5. I'm going to put him over here. Okay. And then I had to look at this Jackie. Okay. So take a look at this card right here. This Jackie Robinson is called Quotation Cuts 1 of 2. And if you look at here, it says, I can't tell what this says, but that might be because my eyes stink. Also, Alt doesn't allow you to zoom in, which I've told them is not my favorite thing. I wish I could come in and like look at the images a lot closer than I can, but that's okay. The autograph here is great. It looks like there's a date here. My eyes just aren't very good, guys. Take a good long look at the autograph. The only bad news is that this number is long enough ago that this is not in the PSA website. If you look at the back, you're going to see a very old image right here. And you're going to see this, which says, "You've received an autograph cut card." On the front is Jack Robinson's signature. This was not autographed in the prom. Of course, it was not. I'm not sure if there's anything else here, but do some research on this. It's really a cool looking autograph, but it has a lot going on above it that it makes me wonder if that's significant. And the fact that it's called quotation cuts, one of two. I would like to do the research. Is there two of these? It's just hard to know. It says one of two, so there's probably just two. But I just like to know like what other details there are. I do like it though. I'll say that. Any Jackie's awesome. This Lucas surprised me because I'm surprised that it's numbered out of 15. I wouldn't think it would be out of 15, but I'm sure it is. See how it's like a silver or like a normal like holofoil on the card, 2020, but it is numbered to 15 right here. Usually 15s are out of red or are red cards. This one is not. I think I already put Penix over there. Okay, cool. So that is going to be it for Alt this week. Let's move now. Man, I'm terribly slow. Let's look now to Goldin. Goldin has a massive page. I don't even know how to say her last name. Is it Beckers? I should know this, and I will know it for next time. But I'm just acknowledging I've read her name all over the place, and I don't know how to say it. We're going to go with Beckers. This is her Bowman University from 2023, a superfractor. So this card was made a bit ago. She's in college on it, but she's in the news now, and people are excited about her. I wonder if whoever the seller is here sort of waited and thought this was the moment. But I know a lot of people are really excited about her, and I know she had an injury that sort of set her back, but now she's sort of overcome that. And anyway, you don't come here to listen to me talk about sports, though. The fact that it is a superfractor, my guess is it's her first superfractor. I think it's kind of a big deal. And, with Caitlin Clark and everything that's taking off and as far as WNBA stuff goes, it's an interesting one to watch, especially because, when she's in the pros, what are we going to see out of her? How beloved is she going to become? Great looking duel here with Ovechkin and Gretzky, the two greatest goal scorers in the history of the NFL. Cool duel there. I want to look at this Nolan Ryan. Excuse me. I look like Nolan Ryan. My eyes are not great. This Paul Skeens, I was going to say, let's take a look at it, but let's skip that. I thought it was Ryan for a second and wanted to see if this was an original card, but since it's Skeens, we know that it's not. Still very cool, numbered 1 out of 1, and Skeens is obviously on fire in terms of a hobby perspective. Mahomes out of 10, Kaboom from 2024. This is the vertical one. Great looking card. Jason Dominguez out of 50. This is the gold Bowman Chrome. Great looking Diamond Kings triple. Great looking dual. Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. Brady autograph. Notable nicknames. I love this Brady autograph right here. That is just beautiful. Immaculate with the sweeping holofoil is just fantastic. I want to see if anything else jumps out here is different. I like the Goldin does such a good job on their imaging. Like, look at this Jordan right here. This Jordan BGS 9.5. Even though this image is super small, you can tell immediately that that's holofoil around the windows. And a lot of scans lose that. I think you got to give them credit for having that there. Steph's an interesting card right here. It's sitting pretty low. It's only $2,200. I don't know. I don't have any idea what it's worth. But the fact that like this is a really cool card. In fact, this is gonna be one of my 5 big cards of the week for sure. So let's make it big, and after it loads, I'll come back to it and we'll talk about why I really like that card. But I really, really like that stuff. All right, what else do we got here? Tag auto, Drake May, marks of excellence, Ronaldinho. Was this a flag? Cooper Flag signed rookie out of 75. Let's see if anything else jumps out here in the next minute or two here on Goldin. I'll scroll through like another 10 or 15 cards and see if anything just really stands out. Numbered 3 out of 5. What is this? Geometric refractor? Haven't heard of that, but that's cool. I am going to look at it closer and see if I like what the design does. Triple auto. Henry, Hernandez, Iniesta. I know Henry. Thierry Henry was like the best player in the world when I was in England as missionary. And I had a mission companion that was always telling me about how Henry was the best player in the world. But that's all I know about that. All right. Trae Young, NTRPA, horizontal. Pele, Rivaldo. Okay, we're going to stop there after one page, but there's 2 cards here that I want to look at a lot closer. Okay, so this Steph's going to be one of my 5 favorites of the night or of the week. And it's a card you've probably never even seen before, and you might not even stop twice to look at it. The autograph's tiny for Steph. It's not one of his best autographs, although Beckett grades it a 10. It's certainly not one of his best autographs. It's a blue card. Blue is generally not thought of as like the best prism parallel, although blue is, sort of it's a jersey color match here for Golden State. But why do I love this card? Well, it's numbered. There's a lot of things, but let's just like take it from a high perspective. So Prism's the brand of the era, right? And Steph Curry is one of the players of the era. Steph Curry Prism autographs are obviously very sought after for that reason. People love autographs, they love Prism, they love Steph, they want all those things together. It would be better, by the way, if this card was on card. It's not, it's a sticker autograph. But 2012 was the first year that we got Prism, and obviously the first year we got Steph Prism cards. They're also his first shiny cards where he's in an NBA uniform. And he had cards in 2012, also in Select. And then there's Crusade from 2012 also. None of them have autographs. So 2013 Prism is the first time we get Steph autographs. This is one of those. It's also one of the rarest ones. So as a rare card collector, I look at this and I go, man, this checks a lot of boxes. It's from before we knew that Curry was going to be Curry. It's numbered to 5. It's the right brand, and it's his first autograph. The thing that I want to do, should I do it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something real quick here. I'm just going to do some research with you guys real quick, and hopefully it is interesting, and if it's not, I don't know what you're doing watching this show. So let's do this real quick. So again, we're doing research on this card, and my question is, how many autographs did Steph have in 2013 Prism? So what we're going to do is how do we figure this out? Well, we go to the Panini checklists page, and Panini does a fantastic job of this. They are freaking amazing, and I would highlight to everybody, like, I wish every place did this, and maybe some do it just as well, by the way, and I just haven't looked, but we're going to hit Panini or basketball 2013 Panini, and we're going to hit Prism. And when we do that, we get select card set. Now, this is where it gets hard. There's a zillion sets in here, right? There always are a million sets. There's way less in 2013 Prism, way less, but I'm going to have to download the whole checklist. And that also means that I'm going to have to reshare a screen and blah, 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 just to show you guys this, but that's okay. So let's see. Bring this over here. Bear with me for just 1 sec, guys. I'm going to click on this download, and it will pop up here in a second. And I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'll make sure that you can see it. Nope, you can't see it. Okay, and let's do this. 1 sec. Present or invite. Share. Why am I dumb? Why don't I know how to do this? I have to. Why doesn't it let me do this? Share. There we go. Okay. Share screen. I'm going to share this. All right. Sorry about that. It took a minute. This is the whole checklist from 2013 Prism. And you can see that here, 2013, right? Now, here's what I want to do. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. It's not nearly as long as they are now, right? This is 6,000 lines of data. I'll highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to first, actually, let's do this. Let's do data, and let's add a filter. And the filter is going to be at the top here. I probably put it in the wrong line. Yeah, I did put it in the wrong line. That's okay. So we're going to just we're going to click this, and we're going to click Steph. So we're going to look at Steph. And when we look at Steph, we're going to see all of these cards of Steph Curry. And some of them are serial numbered. There's a bunch of them serial numbered. All the serial numbered Steph Currys from that year, there's just a few more than 1,000 Steph Curry 2013 cards that are serial numbered. Pretty cool, right? This one's out of 199, this dominance light blue. Sorry, I'll make this bigger so you guys can read some of these things. These are just Steph. These are, there's this other one, 199 light blue, 199 light blue. There's all these different things. Well, not all of these are autographed though, right? Some of them are autographed though. There are some autographs, like this is an autograph, this is an autograph. There's no other way in here to filter by autograph though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the autographs together and then copy them and then paste them down. So there's, wait a second, what just happened there? Why did that mess up? Is it because I'm filtered? Probably, huh? Actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's do an X wherever there's an autograph. Autograph, autograph, autograph. By the way, whenever you're doing Excel in front of thousands of people, you're likely to be not as good at it as you usually are. I promise I'm pretty decent in Excel. Okay, autograph. Autograph. Okay, I think that's it. Let's double check and just do a find for auto real quick. So that one doesn't count because it's auto porter. There's one. There's one. Got an X next to it. Got an X next to it. Got an X next to it. X next to it. Okay, cool. So we are talking about an autograph that's unnumbered. Okay, it's just a simple autograph. We don't know how many of those there are. Then there's a black. Then there's another black. So there's two. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting. I'm looking at the checks here. There's a black. Here's the blue. So we don't know how many regular autographs there are. Let's get that out of the way. So we can't just say, well, there's X number of autographs of Steph Curry. We can't. We don't know that number. What we do know is there's 5 blues, 1 black, 10 golds, 25 prisms. Oh, that's prism silver. Duh, Adam. Duh. And then 10 reds. It's weird there's 10 reds and 10 golds, but that's what they did for some reason. So we're talking about 51 total numbered autographs of Steph Curry from his first year of Prism autographs. Is that cool? Does that make a difference to you? Do you think that like having a serial numbered Steph Curry autograph from his first year of Prism autographs is pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. So again, Steph Curry has cards in 2012 Prism. He does not have autographs in 2012 Prism. 2013 is the first year. He has 51 total. Steph Curry has 51 total serial numbered autographs in 2013 Prism. Those are his very first serial numbered autographs from Prism ever. And then he has however many regular ones he has. I have no idea. It'd be fun to look at the pop report and to see. But of all of those, obviously the black is the most valuable. And then you've got the golds that are at a 10. But then sneaky blue, which is kind of a jersey match, is numbered to 5. Is that cool? How cool is it? Am I stretching how cool it is? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. All right. Now let us present. Sorry, we're going to come out of here. We're going to get out of that thing, and we're going to present instead. Oh, gosh. I am the worst at this. Stop screen. Okay. I need Jeremy Lee here immediately, right now. Windows. All right. This. Share. I think that's right. Is that right? No, that's wrong. This guy. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that was interesting to you guys. I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool. All right, we're gonna end there for Goldin. Except for no, we're not. We're gonna talk about one more card real quick. I want to look at this Wembanyama because it looks like a superfractor. That's what I thought it was when I first looked at it. It's got some superfractory sort of qualities to it, but it's not a superfractor. It is an on-card autograph. It's numbered out of 5. Card's graded a 9. People don't like Wemby's signature because he streaks across the whole line right here. I don't really know or care. What I do know is it is his first year of Topps Chrome. It is unlicensed, but I don't know how much that will matter if Wemby ends up being the man. I think that people are going to like that he has some rookie autographs. I don't know, though. I'm not sure. The great thing is that he'll have other Topps Chrome cards that are licensed. How are people going to view the unlicensed versus the licensed? It is a tale that will work its way out. We don't really know. We'll find out. A lot of it depends on how good Wemby's going to be, though. That's for sure. All right, let's look at hoodies. Hoodies, I feel bad that I missed their premium big-time hoodies high-end auction last week. Like I said, I was out of town. Did not work out well, though. That timing worked out poorly for me in hoodies, and I feel badly about that. Some big cards that are ending this week, though. This is a redemption for Anthony Edwards autograph patch out of 2023 Immaculate. This is the retro premium gold. So this one's probably numbered to 10. It's probably a retro jersey, and I'd like to see what it looks like. Whenever you're buying something that has the code on it, it always makes you nervous because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get like the best patch ever or I'm going to get not a great patch, but that's sort of the fun of it. It's a little bit like still opening a pack of cards. You just don't know exactly what you're going to get at this point. What is this Carmelo? And what did he do with his autograph here? Carmelo's autograph is very different than it used to be. I think I know this in the back of my mind. But anyways, that's a lot of money for a Carmelo autograph. It's out of 45. Let's take a good look at that one here in a second. Another big ant. This is a jumbo patch. Another big ant Immaculate out of 2023. It's interesting that this one's a redemption. This one's not. Makes you wonder why were some ant redemptions or why were some redemptions and some weren't. Or maybe this guy who consigned to hoodies had one that was still in a redemption form that still needs to be redeemed. Not sure. Don't know. I always say this, the Noir shadow signatures are beautiful. I love the net on the card. I love the set. It's fantastic. And then they've got a whole bunch of other, hoodies always has a bunch of big stuff up. So definitely take a look. Okay. I want to look at this real quick. So this is 45 out of 49, 2023 Immaculate. And so I've got a couple of questions. So whenever he nailed the 3-pointer, Anthony celebrated with his classic 3 to the dome, in which he curled his thumb and index finger. Yes, and that's a great image. It's a cool image, and it's got this great sweeping holo foil. And I promise you, in person, it's awesome. So why am I really highlighting it? Well, $2,000 for a Carmelo Anthony out of 49 is a big, 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 big number. Why is it so much? And possibly relatedly, why is he signing like this? This isn't how Carmelo used to sign. Did he change his signature? I know something like this. I had somebody explain this to me, but it's been a couple of years ago, or like a year ago at least. I don't remember what the answer is, but I'm going to do some research after this and figure out what the reason is that Carmelo's signature looks so different here. What he's doing. But like I said, that's a big number. Ends tonight. We'll see what it goes for. Maybe it'll sell for way more. Maybe for some reason this is the Carmelo autograph. And again, maybe it's because he signed it this different sort of way. I'm not sure. Okay. before we go to, I think I got a little bit out of order here. Sorry, guys. So we hit Goldin. We talked about this Wemby. Goldin. Shoot. I didn't save the Steph. Or did I save the Steph? I did. Okay, good. That's going to be probably one of my top fives of the week. REA, I want to talk about here in a second, but not yet. I want to hit. Why did I get so out of order here? I'm sorry, guys. So this is. I got messed up here. Forgive me. This right here is the Fanatics Collect weekly auction. All right, now let's move to the Fanatics Collect weekly auction. Last week, did a lot at the end of the week to talk about some of the things that were ending and why they were a big deal. Let's talk about what we have ending this week at Fanatics Collect and why it is a big deal. The reason that it's good to look at Monday is you don't have two auctions to worry about. It's just this week's auctions. We continue to see Pokemon cards at the top. Always surprises me, but we continue to see them really at the top or one of the top cards of the week. We saw it last week. We see it here again. Really a great Luca. This is the out of 199, the blue PSA 10. Check the pop. A partial set of a PSA DNA set. This type of law right here used to be my bread and butter for making money in the hobby. And I don't know if it's still the best way to make money. But if I was sort of interested in making a few $100 or even a few $1,000s here and there on cards, I would spend a lot of time looking at auctions like this. Why? Well, you've got 76 different PSA, DNA, and different types of authenticated autographs from the 86 set. It's a beloved set, and at this point, lots of people have worked on or are working on signed complete 86 Fleer sets. This is over half the set. I can tell you right now, it's not going to have Jordan in it because Jordan's going to be out by itself. But, from the front here, we can see we've got Jabbar, Bird, Mailman, Drexler, Magic, Ewing, Wilkins, Mullen. I can't tell who that is in there in the bottom because my eyes are too bad. But some of the big names are in here, and there may be a chance that some of the harder to get guys are in here too. This might be somebody who's disbanding a project. But a lot of times what you can do is you can find groups of cards like this where the aggregate is way more than selling it all at once like this. And so separating these cards into individual lots and finding the best way to move those, whether it be card shows or online one at a time, that sometimes can be the best way to do it. So I would watch something like that if that's what you're into at this point. 3.5 on the Alifa Bolliger is not a bad grade. It's actually a really strong grade, and we're going to look into it here right now. I'm going to make this big, and we'll take a look at it in a second. The Ollie in an 8 is obviously a very strong grade. An early graded Jordan 94 refractor with peel, with coating, PSA 10, big card. 2018 gold on the Ronaldo, number 1 of 10, first one. 2003 Ultimate. This is a rookie insert of LeBron that's autographed in very high grade, 1010. I don't love his autographs on these. They're pretty short, like his base autograph, but still great card. Last week we saw the Rory MJ dual exquisite autograph. Now we get to see the Jordan Tiger. And although Rory just won, and that was just a huge win for him, this is the combination that a lot of people like. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, dual on card. Might be from the same seller. This is the black number Pele in a PSA 5 of the Aquarella. Big card. Cade Cunningham, rookie RPA out of Flawless, game used RPA. Big Shea, that's the Mojo PSA 10, 1 of 8. Another one of these jerseys. We've seen this move a few times lately. If you're ever pick one of these up, it might be a good time. Usually when you see a card that rarely moves, sell several times in quick succession. If you can pick up the last one that's being sold or one of the last ones that's being sold, sometimes you get a good deal on that. Another Alifa Bolliger. This one's altered, but 2 in the same auction is kind of a big deal. That's kind of the card in soccer, especially vintage soccer. Let's do one more page and then we'll be done. I sure hope that I'm okay. I thought for a second maybe I had forgotten to bring up my screen again after doing the Excel thing. That would have been a bad moment in my life. All right. Who's this? Jose Manuel Moreno rookie, 1936, blackback NBA 2. Need to do some research there, but it's an older card that I just don't know. I love stuff like that. I love learning about stuff like that. I hope you guys do too. Whenever you see something that's just different, after you've collected cards for a long time, stuff will just stop you in your tracks, right? I remember I've had people ask me through the years, they'll like put a box. If you're like me, you've looked through hundreds of collections. I've probably looked through, I don't know, thousands of collections at this point, especially with my time working at a card shop. And I got to a certain point where I could have somebody drop a collection in front of me. And most of the time, based on how it's organized, I can tell pretty instantly whether there's a chance of something or not a chance of something. And, I'll go through a 5,000 count box in 2 minutes and people will be like, how do you do that? It's the same thing as this, right? Like there's only certain things that will really stand out as really different because you see so much of the same sort of stuff. And you'll see me sort of fly past some things. That's not because I believe that it's not a good card, but because you see so much stuff like that. Or you see more stuff like that. I think it's more known, but some stuff has like an easier, better story to tell. And I try to stop on those things. I don't think I necessarily do a perfect job of it though. I know I don't do a perfect job of it. But hopefully it's somewhat interesting to you guys. PSA 2 on the Jackie right here. Obviously check for high eye appeal. Gold Prism. This is the new era. Sort of looks like a rookie of Kylian Mbappe. Pop 1 of 1, just one graded higher. Wait, just one graded higher, and it's a PSA. Oh, it's PSA 9. Interesting. I love this Giannis. I've always loved this Giannis. Always loved the next day autographs. Giannis particularly has a great story about his next day autograph. He gave one of them to a lady who helped him translate while he was there, and she kept it for a long time and then ended up selling it, which is pretty cool. I tell you this, I have an affinity for the Jackie rookie, and so I'll talk about this real quick. So see how it says rookie on it, 49 Bowman. There's some controversy here. And the reason is that it's sort of been determined that 1948 Leaf Jackies are not actually from 1948. They're from 1949. So does that make his Bowman 1949 a rookie also? In a lot of people's minds, it does. I think it does. They're both rookie year cards. Whether it comes out on January 1st or December 31st, the card is a rookie. Card is a rookie if it's in that year. My guess is the Leaf was probably made first. I don't know. I'm not sure. The Leaf is a far better looking card in my opinion. Despite that, they're both rookie cards. They're both from that year. I guess you could say, well, some of his other, lesser known regional things could be considered rookies too. That's true. That's true. Except for we don't think about regional things really being rookies the same sort of way. PSA 10 03 Chrome Kobe. One of those cards definitely to watch. 99 is kind of a big number, but 03 Chrome is the very first time that Chrome gave us a gold refractor, the very first. And so I always think of that as kind of a big card. Big Tiger right here from 01 SP Authentic. Not the rarest of his autographs, but not a common card either. Rare in that grade for sure. Definitely one worth watching. Another Big Tiger. This one's added 274. It's interesting. This one is currently less than this one that's not numbered. They're both 9.5s. Give me the one that's numbered all day long, personally, but I would check the pop report. We will end it there for Fanatics, except for I want to take a good look at the population on this. And remember, there's an altered one up this week, too, so that could be interesting. On my other screen now, I am typing in the number from the PSA slab, and I will bring it over to here. And we'll get a good image of the card. There it is. And we can see in a 3.5, it's a pop 2 with 72 higher. Then if we click on the population and we do a quick search for Pelé, we will see that the Alif Boulanger has 199 examples of this card that have ever been graded. 199 examples. Of those 199 examples, this one in a 3.5 is above average. It's almost top 30%. If there's 199 of them and there's 72 higher and 2 that are of this grade, we would say that this is a pop, or that this is a top 37% total card. But what's even better than that is a 3.5. There are, oh, you know what? I was going to say, there are all the qualifiers above it, but only one of them is a qualifier, and it's a 7. I think you'd rather have a 7 that's qualified than a 3.5. I think. Some people might disagree with that. But I think so. Everything that's truly above this is above it. And so, but 199, it's a way above average example. Having said that, it's also probably worth noting that there are 15 authentics. So that other one that's up right now, one of the authentics, there's only 15 of those. And again, there's only 199 total. So how do you think about vintage soccer? This is the vintage soccer card, according to a lot of people. When we did the iconic 100 book right there, we asked the question, which are the most iconic soccer cards of all time? This card came up number 2. The only card that was more iconic for this in soccer was the Messi Mega Cracks. And then Ronaldo was 3rd. Those are the only 3 soccer cards that made the list. But it's also rare, right? 199 is not a big number. Okay, that's going to be it for Fanatics Collect this week. Let's do a card hobby really, really quick. On Card Hobby, we have this card jumped out at me right away. Really surprised to see it at auction again. It actually just sold maybe 3-4 months ago. So my guess is this is not a relist. My guess this is a card where somebody bought it and is reselling it, which is I think that's crazy. This is a huge card. We're talking about that one in a second. Big Luca, this is 2018, still in the holder. Flawless RPA. Disney uncut. Is that an uncut sheet? No, they're all graded. Take a look at that. I love this SP game used. Jordan Magic Duel. I love that set. It's beautiful. 2009 exquisite base set. I think this is a relist. We saw this a little while ago. Always watch relists. Some of them go for amazing deals. It's not always the fault of the person who's putting the item up that something gets shilled or not paid for. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not, and sometimes it can lead to some of the best deals out there. Don't disregard it. Watch it. I love this Kobe. This is from the Hoop set, the sealed set that had 1 autograph per box. Ginobili autograph on the Logoman tag. That card's cool. You don't see a lot of big Ginobili stuff. This is a big card. It's only been up for a little while. And it's almost at $3,000. That's a big number for Ginobili, but good luck finding another autographed Logoman tag like that. That will go on my top 10 of the week. Boy, another one of these Steph autograph patches from 09 National Treasures. I'm telling you, whenever you see something sell a lot in quick succession, it can give you sometimes a great chance to buy. Not all the time, but sometimes. We've seen like 4 or 5 of the 49 of those sell in recent months. So I would watch that for sure. We'll look at one more page and then we'll get out of here as soon as we can. I love this Yao. Whew. I love this Yao. That holds up against just about any of his limited logos cards. That is gorgeous. Oh, that's a good looking card. You don't see that card move very often. That might be a top 5 card for me this week. I love that card. This Kobe might too. A couple of big cards at Card Hobby. Card Hobby, if you're not checking out Card Hobby stuff, guys, there are a lot of big cards moving every week at Card Hobby. Ooh, LeBron Silver Prism. Is that in a 9? I can't really tell. I think it's a 9. Ends today, though. Some of the non-autograph, non-patch stuff on Card Hobby goes for pretty good deals. I would watch that one. I think it's because, I could be wrong about this, but I think the Asian markets care a lot more about game-used and autograph cards than the American markets do. And so you don't see like a ton of really rare serial numbered stuff from the 90s on Card Hobby. You don't see a lot of the earlier Prism stuff like this one. But this is the LeBron 2012 silver. Iconic, recognizable. Sitting at $1,700 with less than a day to go. Worth watching. All right. I like this Kobe because it's on card and people think it's on sticker. And let's look at these cards individually. Okay, so this Kobe. Let's talk about it. So one of the things that you see that's consistent across 2009 National Treasures, the first year of National Treasures, their autograph inserts, is they didn't give the players a good place to sign. They didn't. And Kobe made the most of his places where he had to sign. There's a colossal patch. There's actually another one of those that's up right now. We haven't seen a lot of this early NT Kobe stuff move because people know like NT's one of the brands of the era. And this was the first year. And Kobe only has a few like really key cards from that set. This tag auto out of 10 is just wonderful. You got the Nike swoosh coming through. You got all those different colors. I love it. And we've seen enough sort of crazy stuff out of these tag autos that I don't look at that and go immediately like, am I sure that's real? Now, you always have to do your research. In fact, I'm going to have a guy on later today on a dedicated episode of Across the Hobby to talk about like how to do some of this research, how to think about some of these things. You always want to look at it. But at first, when I look at that, I'm like, okay, is that legit? And then I looked at some of the other copies of the card and I was like, it's probably good. Like that is a great, great set for autograph patches. Great set. So I love this card. I love it. And I can't believe it's at auction again because last time it sold, I thought, man, that thing's going to be buried for a long time. And this Yao, man, you can see the photograph here isn't perfect, but y'all, you can see it down here. It's really good. See that sweeping holofoil? I'm telling you guys, this is Yao going to the hoop. I love this. I love this card. Maybe some people don't like the emotion. I love the emotion. I love the autograph. This is the nicest autograph patch Yao card I've seen in a long time. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to put the Kobe over here, though I don't think I'm going to choose the Kobe because it sold so recently. I just hate doing that. So that's it for this week. I just want to highlight, though, now that we've gone through this whole episode, we've been here for an hour and 26 minutes. I'm going to hit my top 5 in just a second. Next week is one of the biggest weeks of the whole year for auctions. Heritage has their auction ending. Goldin's Elite auction is ending. REA has their big auction. They only do 2 or 3 auctions, big auctions a year. They've got their big auction ending. Fanatics Collect's not Elite, sorry. Their premier auction is ending. You have all of those. And then I think I mentioned Fanatics Collect twice in there. Sorry. Fanatics Collect, Goldin, Heritage, REA, MC's monthly auction, like all of them are next week. So, I highlighted them here just to say, like, go look at Heritage, go look at Goldin, the Goldin Elite, go look at the Fanatics Premier auction, go look at REA with some huge vintage stuff. Like there are some huge auctions ending next week. So make sure you do that if that's the sort of stuff that you're into. But it's going to be a big week. Okay, now let's hit the top 5 of the week. So these are our contestants. The Brady 1 of 12 from 2004. What I said was maybe his first autograph card that's limited to his jersey number. And I don't know that. I could be wrong. There could be several others. I don't think so, though. I think there's a good chance that's his first jersey numbered autograph in his career. We know he doesn't have any from his rookie year. And there's only a few years in between there. This Yao that we just looked at, unbelievable jumbo patch from Immaculate. Great autograph, numbered to 10. The Kobe tag auto, that's a card hobby from first year National Treasures. The Steph that's from his first year of Prism autographs, numbered to 5, rarer than the gold. The Kaboom Gold of Nikola Jokic. The Michael Penix Jr. numbered to his numbered jersey number out of 10. The Julius Erving that's numbered out of 50 when the rest of the set is out of 100. Those are our contestants. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got to cut 2. 2 cards can't be in my top 10. One of them's going to be the Jokic. I love the Jokic. If I can find out real quick, in fact, I'm going to do something real fast. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm going to try it anyways. If you want to find really quick whether something is a guy's only thing or early thing, a good sort of like quick way to kind of determine it, but it's not perfect, is to go into Beckett. So I'll open another tab here to do this. We'll do this fast, guys. We'll do super fast. So Beckett's pop report. If you do that and you just type in, and let me know if you have a better way to do this. But if I come into here and I select basketball and then I hit kaboom and then I hit Jokic, it's going to give me, again, just graded cards. I guess I could do this up here if I was logged in, but I'm not logged in. You get, if you do this, a listing of all Jokic kabooms. Now you can see he has a player of the day kaboom and he has a 2020 kaboom. And I'm not well versed enough at this point. I will be, but I'm not yet as which of these have a gold. The one that we're looking at is 2023, I believe. It might be his only gold kaboom. And I hate taking it out of the top 10, but I don't know it. So I'm going to take that one out. I love the Irving. We got some stuff this week that's not crazy expensive that's going to make my top 10. I love it when that happens. Okay, the Brady's definitely going to make it. I love that card. The Penix is definitely going to make it. I think the Yao makes it. I would put it ahead of that one. The Curry's going to make it for sure. All right, I'm going to take out this Kobe, not because I don't love it. Gosh, maybe I'll leave the Kobe in. I don't know. This is tough. I love all 7 of these cards, though. Okay, let's hit so the 2 that I'm going to cut out. I'm going to cut out the Jokic because I'm not sure it's his first, and that matters to me. And I'm going to cut out the Kobe, not because it's not one of my favorite 5, but because we just highlighted this exact card like 3, 4, 5 months ago, and I don't want to do that again. So that gives us a top 5 of the Irving, the Curry, the Yao, and then a couple football cards, the Brady and the Penix. Again, I'm not even a football young guy, guys. So I don't know how good this guy's going to be, but I love that people are excited about him, and I love that it's his jersey numbered gold RPA or gold prism. So my number 5 card of the week is going to be this one. It might even be higher, but I just don't know how good this guy is or he's going to be. So I'm going to put him at number 5. My number 4 is going to be. My number 4 is going to be this Irving. It's out of 50. This is not the rarest card, but it is super rare for what this set is. The best autograph patch set ever for being as high numbered as it is. Again, he has, like, everybody else in the set's numbered out of 100, but for some reason they made Irving out of 50, probably because they didn't have enough uniform material for him. So we're going to go number 4. Number 3, we're going to go with the Yao. Yao is going to be my 3rd card of the week. He does not have a lot of big-time autograph patch stuff. I do wish it was playing days. It is not. He had retired at this point. But as far as big-time autograph patches go, from an aesthetics perspective, I don't know that Yao has a better card than that. And then that leaves the top 2 cards of the week. I'm going to put the Brady at number 2 because I don't know for sure if it's his first jersey numbered autograph, but it might be. And I love that. And then the number 1 card of the week, I have to go with the Steph, which I think is going to surprise some people, but I think it's really cool that it's his very first autograph. I think it's really cool that it's as rare as it is. That it is a jersey match. I don't think people know it or think about it the same way. You can imagine what this would be worth if the autograph was on card. It's on a sticker, so that is something that's important to recognize. But I love that when it was made, it wasn't, considered to be, what it probably is considered to be now. I love how rare it is. And I love that it's his first autograph out of Prism. So that'll do it for this week. I'm on a couple of different things this week. I think I'm on an episode of Sports Cards Nonsense. I have a couple of other things that are going on. So make sure you check that out. If you're not already following me on Instagram and you liked this show, please go follow me there. 90% of the content that I do is over there on Instagram. I do almost nothing here on YouTube. But I hope you're enjoying the show. Please tell somebody about it. If you tell somebody, if you could follow, if you could subscribe, if you could share, whatever you can do is always appreciated. Again, I'm grateful that I get to do this. I get to cover cards. I get to actually call this my job. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm grateful I get to do it. Glad to hang out with you guys. And as I've said for 10 years now on all my different shows, I will conclude with this. Happy collecting.